Yo, what's up, what's going on, everyone? I am back with another video on the channel. For today's video, we're going to be reacting to another Philip DeFranco video. This video is supposed to be on Lil Nas X, Britney, Jamie Lynn Spears, Olympic band, cyber attacks, and more. So it's supposed to be a pretty filled video, so I'm excited to watch this. So let's just get right into it. But first, like this video, subscribe. I'm a new and growing channel, so it would really help out if you were to do those things, and check out my other channels in the link tree in the description below. But let's just get right into it.
Today, let's play a little game of what happens next. Okay. Okay, so what happens next? What's in the car? I start typing. What would elicit that reaction? There's some random stranger that snuck into the car. Is it bees? Okay, great. Here we go. It's a bear. Go. I have so many questions. One, why did the bear make a face like it was the one being carjacked? He's like, oh, are you not Gary? Are you not my Uber? And two, you must have the biggest balls. This is the bravest, dumbest thing I've ever seen. If a bear is in my car, I said that sentence wrong. The bear is in its car now. It no longer belongs to me. Like I get with black bears, they say make yourself big and loud, but it was in a car. Also, side note, if the insurance doesn't cover everything that ended up happening to this car, please someone or this guy start a GoFundMe. Apparently after the bear, he had to abandon the car for a bit, then people looted it. It's just like the worst luck I've ever seen. But hello, welcome back to the Philip DeFranco Show. It's Monday, July 19th, 2021.
I would be so pissed if a bear just randomly shows up in my car one day, and I get the bear to leave my car, and then someone breaks into my car and steal the things inside of my car. Oh my god, that's literally like the worst thing to happen to your car ever.
Hit that like button, otherwise we'll punch you in the throat, and let's just jump into it. The first thing that we're going to talk about today, obviously the most important story. Despite the local and international concern, pushback, and backlash with the Olympics set to begin this upcoming Friday, which means that everyone's favorite topic is in the news, Olympians banging. What happens when you get the world's most physically fit and often very attractive people together? Well, in past years, you get 500,000 condoms thrown at these athletes. And this year, there was actually a controversy around this aspect of the games because you had this story going around that Olympic athletes are going to be left with cardboard beds. With Paul Chelimo from the US's track and field team writing on Twitter, this is aimed at avoiding intimacy among athletes. Beds will be able to withstand the weight of a single person to avoid situations beyond sports. But then joking, I see no problems for distance runners, even 4 of us can do. And this actually ended up becoming a massive story. Like I said, you had some people taking it seriously, outraged, some saying, yeah, it makes sense. But here's the thing, it's actually fake news, and I mean actual fake news, not just like news I didn't like. Cardboard beds aren't designed to stop Olympians from getting gold in the bedroom. They're a cost-saving measure. They're also easy to recycle at the end of the games, and it's not even like a side effect. There's one Olympian who's actually been vlogging his experience showed right here.
In today's episode of Fake News at the Olympic Games, the beds are meant to be anti-sex. They're made out of cardboard, yes, but apparently they're meant to break at any sudden movements. It's fake news.
So yeah, no reason to be outraged, people. The Olympians are going to be able to slang what they slang. And really, if I can add anything, the only reason I'm outraged about this story is how is that bed more sturdy than every bed I've ever purchased from IKEA? A cardboard bed can apparently handle a whole-ass Olympian jumping up and down, but I have sex on a daybed in college one time and I have to sit at a lean for the rest of my life? It's ridiculous. But also, not the only controversy with the Olympics. Some of the others we've seen include Korea forced to take down flags they put up at their dorms, a reference to 16th century naval battle that Korea won against Japan, but only doing it under the condition that Japan take down the rising sun flag, which Korea and many East Asian countries find offensive, similar to how Westerners view the Nazi flag. Additionally, they've banned the...
Yeah, okay, so one thing with the Olympics is that they have a lot of stupid rules just because of, you know, it's because it's so international that they just don't want to offend anyone, so usually they just have so many rules in place to not offend all these different regions that it kind of intersects with each other, and then they kind of end up causing more problems than if the rules didn't exist. So it's all this confusing mess where, you know, the Olympics put in these unnecessary rules trying to not offend different countries or just stop things from happening, but in doing that they affect different countries and cause more problems. So it's just like it's just like a losing battle.
drinking of alcohol at the Olympic Village unless you are alone in your room, which that's so sad. And of course, finally, there are concerns with COVID. The number of cases continue to rise in Japan and Tokyo. Because of that, multiple polls have shown that people want the games canceled or postponed. You have the president of the IOC, Thomas Bach, saying that there is zero risk of transmission between athletes and Japanese staff. But as of right now, at least 61 people at the Olympic Village have reported contracting COVID-19 since arriving, including at least one U.S. athlete and Japanese workers at the village. I mean, hell, public opinion is actually so negative against this. Toyota announced this morning that it's not going to be airing TV commercials in Japan related to the Tokyo Olympics.
Really?
And none of its executives are going to attend the opening ceremony as a sign of protest against the games, and that's so notable. Toyota is Japan's biggest automaker and one of the Olympics' top sponsors. Then,
Yeah, I'm surprised
in a really
by that.
big news story and debate, let's talk about this thing that involves, anonymity, free speech, abuse, and it actually starts with Idris Elba. And that's because he posted on Instagram saying that social media platforms need to do more to help combat racist abuse. Writing, people in the public eye get verified on social media, symbolized by a blue tick. The process of verification requires them to prove their identity so everyone knows who is speaking. And adding, social media companies should make this mandatory for all users. Saying social media is like boarding a plane and not having to show ID, that would never happen. And closing, if cowards are being supported by a veil of privacy and secrecy, then social media is not a safe space. If cowards want to spout racial rhetoric, then say it with your name, not your username. With those remarks seeming to be in response to a flood of racist harassment that was received by 3 black soccer players on England's national team. Right, but ultimately with this story, I just want to pass the question off to you. What are your thoughts on what Elba is saying here? If you agree to use a social media platform, you need to be verified, whether it be ID or some other way. Or no, do you think that the ability to be anonymous online is actually essential? Right, well, yes, there is a lot of anonymous harassment. It also allows for people to speak up against powerful governments that might look to suppress or eliminate potential threats. And or is there some sort of balancing act in between? I'd really love to know your thoughts on this. Then
I kind of agree. But the thing is, it's interesting because, you know, what if people don't have an idea, like kids under the age of 15 because of like permits and stuff, like, or it's just weird. Like, what if people do not have an ID, then they can't access being on social media. So, but I agree with, like, yeah, like if you're gonna say something really negative and say something racist, at least put your name behind it, you know. But yeah, that's interesting. I kind of agree with it, but at the same time, you know, what if people don't have an ID, then you're excluding them. But at the same time, should kids under 15 really be using social media? And I know that's kind of a hot take, but like, I don't know.
see Lil Nas X going to jail, which is a thing that you might think is happening if you only read headlines or look at Twitter trends. And that is because Lil Nas X is just further cementing himself as a master troll and marketer. Right, today, you had the hashtag #FreeLilNasX trending over the past few days. He's been posting about an upcoming court appearance today regarding the lawsuit over his Satan shoes. Right, remember that? Lil Nas X, Mischief, they released a shoe that's said to have a human drop of blood. Nike was like, we are not involved, we're suing. And if you haven't seen him joking about it on Twitter and TikTok, maybe you saw some of the headlines. But ultimately, what it all led to is him posting a video this morning where it's a courtroom sketch about the Satan shoes. He's playing pretty much every character. He then gets sentenced to time in Montero State Prison, and he announces his new single, Industry Baby, which is coming out July 23rd. Apparently Jack Harlow is featured, Kanye produced, and I've never seen an...
What a smart marketing move. What a smart marketing move, dude. I don't know what to say to that. That's incredible. That's incredible marketing. Jeez.
Artist so, and I could be wrong here, right? Maybe it's all manufactured. I've never seen an artist like this so personally involved in trolling and marketing. And I really don't ever use this word, it's iconic. As someone whose career started with and then never went back to clickbait, I respect it. And let's talk about taxes and, more importantly, filing your tax. I don't know if you do it yourself, or maybe you're using like an H&R Block or a TurboTax, and well, the news is
I don't pay taxes yet. I don't pay taxes yet. Oh man, I can't imagine paying taxes, man. I'm gonna do it, of course, eventually, but like I don't pay taxes right now because I'm a minor and I don't work. So okay, we have some good topics in there. But yeah, guys, that has been the video for today.